All right, so we got 1, -6, 9, and 0. So this would be the equation. Again, we're looking at the picture on page 322. To come up with the standard form, we put the points into the calculator, which has to be the max. You should probably write this down. I know you put it in the calculator, but the min, something to the left, and something to the right. There were 4 points given, so therefore we ran the cubic regression. And we see that this is, that's x to the third power. We see that this is an odd power because one side of your graph is going down and one side of your graph is going up. We call that the end behavior. If the end behavior is opposite, then you are looking for opposite, an odd degree. So your degree would be an odd number. Could be x to the 1 power, x to the third power, x to the 5th power, but it will be an odd degree. All right, so now we're going to still use the same graph, page 322, and we're going to find the factored form for that equation like we did yesterday. And then when we multiply it out, we should get the same standard form. So with that, what you do is you write x minus the x-intercept, which is 0, and x minus the x-intercept, which is 3. And we write x minus 3 twice because it's called a multiplicity. It occurs twice because it touches it there, and instead of going through, it looks like a quadratic, like a U. So therefore, that one gets written twice. Okay, and this one goes straight through, so that one gets written once. So that's why we write that way. Of course, it is a y equals equation, and we're not sure about the leading coefficient. To calculate the leading coefficient, we can pick any other point on the graph. We know 1, 4 is on the graph, so let's do that. And of course, this is telling me that whatever k is must make true that if I put 1 in for the x's, I will get 4 for the y. So when y is equal to 4, whatever this value is, this must be true, that 1 minus 0 and 1 minus 3 and 1 minus 3 will give me that 4. So parentheses first, 1 minus 0, 1 minus 3 is a -2. Multiplication next. +4. And divide both sides by 4. K will be equal to 1. So y equals 1 times x minus 0 times x minus 3 times another x minus 3. So you can write it as x minus 3 squared. Okay, so this is the factored form for the picture on 322. Of course, we knew the standard form from the beginning there for the picture at 322. So if I multiply this out, I should get the standard form. So when you multiply, we've got 3 things here. It doesn't matter which 2 you multiply first. I always take the more complicated ones, so I'm going to ignore the x there. And multiply. When you multiply all terms and add your exponents. So x times x is x squared. And x times a -3 is a -3x. And a -3 times x is a -3x. And a -3 times a -3 is a +9. Now after you've done that, you want to go ahead and combine like terms before you multiply your third one in, because then you'll have less terms and it'll be less of a mess. So -3x plus a -3x is a -6x. Then you multiply everything by x. So x times x squared is x to the third. Negative 6x times x is negative 6x squared. And a positive 9 times x is a positive 9x. And I believe that goes right around in a nice circle, back to where we began and the calculator gave us x to the third minus 6x squared plus 9x.